Look out for analysis videos each week and those bonus pods I told you about. So last week's analysis video was on London Broncos. For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to look at Hull KR's defence and Hull KR's offence before the World Club Challenge on February the 19th against Brisbane Broncos. My goal is to make you coaches and players think that you can achieve absolutely everything. And let's hope that this helps give you the best possible start to the year. Each week, I'm giving out 2 sessions for juniors and 2 sessions for seniors, and this will also be a YouTube piece. So if you're watching on YouTube now, welcome. Juniors, this week's sessions. On the first session of the week, go back to passing in grids to warm up. So the principle there is you're gradually introducing them to some decision making, but you're always going back to passing eventually because they will still need work on grip, pass, catch, carry. I always say that grip, pass, catch, carry is like brushing your teeth. If all you did was brush your teeth very intensely for a week and then left it for 3 weeks, you would have very bad breath. So you have to keep on top of these things all the time, particularly when you are a junior. After the dynamic stretches, I would do some defensive rhythm runs, so mapping, working on defensive alignment. I would then introduce some plays. So how many plays for each junior team? Well, I've pitched this junior plan at about 13, 14. But I always say, regardless of the team that you coach, you should have no more than 3 or 4 plays, i.e. block, face ball, an X, a face ball of some kind, a bum ball, as I like to call it in England sometimes, where the first player goes through, and then some kind of drop-off option or dummy drop-off option. If you're putting much more than that in place, you're probably going to not see that very much. With juniors, I don't think you should really be giving them plays. If we're all coaching properly, you should just be coaching your players' core skill and decision-making prior to 11-ish. I can understand you giving them a few basic plays, but if you do, this is when you introduce it. And then we're going to play the restricted pass game. Now, again, I will put the link to this in the YouTube description, which is Rugby League Coach on YouTube. If you're listening, if you're watching the YouTube, all you have to do is scroll down and see the restricted pass game. But I'll explain it now. Basically, you get 4 tackles. First 2 tackles, you have 1 pass. You're allowed 1 pass. If you want to scoot and not pass, that's fine. Tackle 3 and 4, you're allowed 2. That's what the restricted pass game is. The idea of that is that if a team, because I've introduced plays, if a team puts on a play in their 4 tackles, I give them 4 more. Okay? And at times, to help with conditioning, I will make defenders get up and down off the ground on every play of the ball. Okay? So that's that day. Second day, I will warm up practicing the plays that I introduced on the Tuesday or the earlier session. I would do the rhythm runs or the mapping again. But then I would want to apply everything I've taught them so far into some 13 versus 13 if possible, or if you don't have enough players, 13 running semi-opposed against some others. Okay? And put them into some scenarios, such as attacking in good ball being the opposite end of the field where you do most of your attacking, or defending or exiting. And of course, at times, you can lift the conditioning level up a bit if you want as well, using the up-down methods that I keep talking about. Okay? So that's the junior plan. Seniors. Again, like I said with the juniors, it's like brushing your teeth. So I'm going to do grip, pass, catch, carry, ongoing correction in the warm-up. If for some reason it's still hideous or is hideous, I'm going to do a little bit of correction after the warm-up and my dynamic stretches. I am then going to be going into a workshop of all tackles that require wrestling. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that again in response to some comments on socials. But You notice on there I get an itchy nose all the time. I'm always scratching it. I think it's this microphone. I don't know why I itch my nose when I'm here. Anyway, Effort 2 workshop, which is ruck control. And I'll be looking at all types. So the dominant tackle, the tackle where it's passive, and the 50-50 where you're competing with each other. And what I would do, instead of structuring which tackle they're going to practice, I would let them just work it out each time they practice in the triangles, which you'll see in the link on the YouTube channel. And then we are going to go once again to 13 versus 13 again. And we're going to practice our sets that are everything but exits. So our good ball sets and our middle of the field sets. And we also want to see some of the plays in there that we've used. And then on the second day of training, I'm actually going to use mapping and rhythm runs for them to warm up. Okay, so let's say I've got 40 players. I'll put them in 4 groups of 10, put in 2 groups within that. So 2 10s, one warms up with 6, the next warms up with 6, etc. And then I'm then going to go to tackle technique and ongoing correction. So you may be wondering why tackle technique wasn't on the Tuesday and ruck control was on the Thursday. Instead, I'm doing it the other way around. There's no particular reason for that. It's just how it's fallen in the plan. Okay, so my absolute what's the term I'm looking for? My absolute mantra is: if you want to control the ruck, the best place to start is with a good tackle, a quality tackle. So after they've done the mapping and then the rhythm runs and the stretches, they're going to be practicing tackle technique again. We are then going to play small-sided games where they have to do ruck defense. So I want to see them defending in a game scenario, small-sided. So we're playing that restricted pass game again, okay? And because they're seniors, I'm going to make everybody go down and every play the ball for conditioning. And when safe and able, and again, I can only stress to you that you're in charge of your training, you're the one responsible. If you're happy, make them get up and down every play the ball and really push them conditioning-wise. I'm still scratching my nose. On the Rugby League Coach podcast now, I'm going to go through all the coaching tips. If you're watching this on YouTube, listen to the audio one and you'll get the coaching tips. See you later, YouTube. Coaching tips.